Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see end of chapter exercise of chapter 1, and also here we are going to see question number 4 to 10 of class 9 from Ganita Manjari book. So let's start with question 4. So here the question is plot point Z. So they have given one point Z, which is 5 comma minus 6, the coordinates given on the Cartesian plane. So we need to plot this point on a Cartesian plane and then construct a right angle triangle IZN. In this IZN, we know only the coordinates for Z. I we don't know, N we don't know. We can take as per our wish, but it needs to come as a right angle triangle. That is the only condition is given. And find the length of the three sides. So we are going to find the length of the three sides also after drawing the right angle triangle. So first we'll take a graph and we'll mark the point 5 comma minus 6. So 5 is positive and the y coordinate is negative. So where this will be coming actually, if your 5 is positive, that means x is positive and y is minus 6. So here it will be coming, right? So it is in the quadrant 4, 5 comma minus 6. Right. So now we need to frame one right angle triangle. So for that still we need two more points. So where we can take so that we will get a right angle triangle. I can either take 2 points over here. This is one way. I can take a point over here 5 comma 0 and also point over here which is 0 comma minus 6. Okay. So if I take like this, here you will be getting one triangle. Yes. So we will be getting one triangle. So whereas here you will be getting a right angle triangle also. And one more way also we can do with the help of origin. Origin is 0 comma 0 and with 0 comma minus 6. So if I join the origin to 5 comma minus 6, so this is what very important, z, right, point given, and then from z to 0 comma minus 6 I can join, and origin and this line we can join, so we will get one more triangle. So as of now here we have defined two ways of drawing the triangle, right? But actually I am going to take this one. So this is z, right? I will take this as I and this as n. So I'm going to take this IZN triangle where I is going to be, first let me write, I point is 5 comma 0, Z point is 5 comma minus 6, and then N point is going to be 0 comma minus 6. Yeah, it is 0 comma minus 6 because it is lying on the y-axis. Now what they are asking, find the length of all the three sides. So what are the sides are there actually? So we need to find first IZ we will find. Okay. So IZ we are going to find. How to find the length of the side? By using the distance formula. So what is distance formula? So I am writing the distance formula over here. Root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Either you can take it as x1 minus x2 the whole square also. There is nothing problem in that, since it is having a square inside, whether it is positive or negative, it is going to come as a positive answer only. Okay, so now we will continue. The same formula we are going to apply for I and z. So we will take it. So as of now we are considering I as x1 y1, z as x2 y2. So over here 5 minus 5, when you compare the x coordinate, 5 minus 5 is going to be 0 and minus 6 minus 0 is going to be minus 6 the whole square, which is going to be root 36, and the answer is 6 units. Okay, and then we'll find the length of nz now. Nz equal to, so now your n is going to be x1 y1 and z is going to be x2 y2. So we will do that. 5 minus 0 the whole square, so it is 5 square, minus 6, and minus of minus 6 is going to be plus 6, so it will be 0 over here. So plus 6 and minus 6, if you add, it is going to be 0. So here we will get 25, root 25, and the answer is 5 units. And still we need to find one more side, which is IN. So I is going to be your x1 y1 and n is going to be x2 y2. So when you are comparing x2 minus x1, it's going to be minus 5 the whole square plus minus 6 minus 0 is going to be minus 6 the whole square. So over here we will be getting 25 plus 36. So if you add 25 plus 36, we will be getting 5 plus 6 is 11, balance 1, and this is 61. So root 61 unit, this is, we can't solve this root 61, so we are keeping the answer as root 61 unit itself. So now what we have found, so what are the length? So can we mark the length over here? IZ is going to be 6 and NZ is going to be 5 and IN is going to be root 61. So this is what the solution of this problem. We'll see the next question. What would a system of coordinate be like if we did not have negative numbers? Would this system allow us to locate all the points on a 2D plane? This is what our question. What they are saying, in a 2D plane, we are not going to have any negative number. So if there is no negative number, will that particular system allow us to locate all the points? This is what our question. So for that, first we need a graph over here. So now there is no negative numbers are there, right? That is what we have to assume. So if there is no negative number, what will happen? This part won't be there and this part won't be there. So this coordinate won't come, this coordinate also won't come, this coordinate also won't come. So the only uh, coordinates are only the positive number. So which coordinates will come over here? This will be coming and this will be coming because we are completely avoiding the negative number. So we are going to take only the positive number. So it is going to, in a 2D plane, only the first quadrant points only you can mark. If you get any point like second quadrant point, third quadrant or fourth quadrant, we cannot plot any point on this Cartesian plane. So what is the answer? It doesn't allow us to locate all the points on a 2D plane, but it will allow us to locate only the first quadrant point. What is that? Only positive point we can locate. Other than that, we cannot locate. So this is what the answer for this question. And the next question is, are the points M, A as well as G are on the straight line? So they have given the coordinates for all the 3 points. We have to check whether these 3 points are lying in a straight line or not. Suggest a method to check this without plotting and joining the points. Usually how we can find, if we plot the coordinates on a Cartesian plane and it is possible to draw a straight line, then yes, we can make a straight line. Otherwise we cannot. Like that we will do. But here what they have suggested, don't use the plotting of point. Without that you find it. So how can we find it? By using the distance formula. Okay, so over here M I can mark, C M, and this one is A and this one is G. So it is 6 comma 8 and this one is 0 comma 0 and M point is minus 3 comma minus 4. Yes, so how I'm going to check? First I will find the distance between this MA and then I'll find the distance between this AG. At last, if I add these two distance, it needs to give the MG distance. So what we are going to do? Obviously, we are going to use the distance formula. Can we start doing it? So first we'll use the distance. We'll find the distance by using the distance formula between M and A. So yes, I'm starting over here. So minus 3 minus 0 is going to be minus 3 the whole square, which is 9. Minus 4 minus 0 is going to be minus 4. If you square it, you will be getting 16. So if I add this one, it is going to be 25. So the answer is 5 units. So what is the length of MA? It is going to be 5. Okay, so now we will do for AG. A and G. Yes. Over here, 0 minus 6 is going to be 6 square, which is 36. 0 minus 8 is going to be 8 square, which is going to be 64. So if we add this one, what we will be getting? 6 plus 4 is 10, balance 1, so 100. So the answer is going to be 10 units. So what is the length of AG? It is 10 units. So now we need to check what is the length of MG. So again, we will use the distance formula and find what is MG. So I'm doing over here. Yes, so MG is going to be what? Minus 3 minus 6. So minus 3 minus 6 is going to be what? 9 square. So it's nothing but 81. And then we will be having minus 4 minus 8. It's going to be 12. 12 square is going to be 144. So if you add this one, so 4 plus 1 is going to be 5 and 8 plus 4 is going to be 12, balance 1, 2, 225. What is actually square root of 225? It's nothing but 15 units, right? So the answer is 15 units. What is the distance between M and G? That is 15 units. So now you are understanding, right? This one is 15 units. So if I add MA and AG, I'm getting MG. Then obviously it is lying on a straight line. All these 3 points are lying on a straight line. Maybe if it is not coming, then we can say this cannot be a straight line. Like that we can say. We'll see the next problem now. Next question, use your method from problem 6. In the previous problem, we used one method to check whether the 3 points lying on a straight line, right? So the same method we need to use in order to check the points R, B and C are on a same straight line. So first we will write the points. So R is going to be -5, comma -1. And what about B point? It is -2 comma -5, and the C coordinate is 4 comma -12. Showing that a distance, so first we need to find RB, then BC, and then we'll find what is RC. So first we are finding RB. So using the distance formula. Okay, so -5 minus of -2 is going to be +2. So -3 the whole square, which is 9. And then plus -1 minus of -5 is going to be +5. So we will be getting what? 4 square. So it's nothing but 16. So what will be the answer for this? It is √25, which is 5 units. Right, so now we'll find what is the distance of BC. So BC over here, what? -2 -4 is going to be 6 square, which is 36, plus -4 minus of -2, so it's going to be what you will be getting? 7 we will be getting, which is 7 square, 49. So what answer we will get here? 5, and this is 85. So √85 units we will be getting. This is not a perfect square, so I'm keeping just like that. And then we'll find what is RC. So RC equal to, this is C. So RC equal to -5 -4, so 9 square, it is 81. And then we have what? -1 and -12 is there. So minus of -12 will be +12, and 11 we will be getting. So 11 square is 121. So if you add, what answer we will be getting here? 2 you will get. 8 plus 2 is, this is 2. 8 plus 2 is going to be 0, and 2. 202. Square root of 202. This is what we are getting. So if I add, or the length of RB, I'm getting 5, and the length of BC, we are getting √85. If you add 5 plus √85, whether we will get √202? No, right? These two are not equal. So these 3 points won't be lying on a straight line, we can say. But now in the question they told, now plot both the set of points. Over here they have told now both the sets of points. What are the both set of points? In question 6 also we need to plot the points, and even the question 7 points also, and check whether it is coming correctly or not. So for that, first we need to have one graph sheet. So in a graph sheet, first we'll mark the points which belongs to question number 6. Yeah, so what are the points are there in the question number 6? One is -3, 4. So what is -3, 4? -3 -4 over here. -3, -4. And the next point is 0, 0. It's nothing but origin. And the next point is 6, 8. So 6, here I don't have 8. So I will mark this as 7 and mark this as 8. So it will come over here, right? 6, 8. So we are going to join all this. By seeing only you can get, right? It is coming in a straight way. So we can draw a line like this. Yeah, it's coming. Now can we check? In sixth question, we got that it is a straight line. So answer also came by graph. It is a straight line only. But in the question 7, what we have found, they won't lie on a straight line. Now we will check whether that is true or not. Right? So now we can make a point -5, -1. So where you will be getting -5 and -1 is over here. -5, -1. The next point is -2, -5. So the point is going to be over here. -2, -5. And what about the other point? 4, -12. So 4 is over here. -12 somewhere else it is going to come, right? So actually here it is not fixed up. Over here 4, -12. So sure it won't come as a straight line. So this is how we are going to check our answer by using a graph sheet. And we'll see the next question. Using the origin as one vertex, plot the vertices of a right angle isosceles triangle. an isosceles triangle with one vertex in quadrant 3 and the other in quadrant 4. So first we'll see the first question. So they are saying use one vertex as a origin. Now we'll see the first question. What is the first question? We need to make a right angle isosceles triangle. First we need to know what is the meaning of isosceles triangle, right? So two sides of a triangle need to be equal, then we can say it's an isosceles triangle. But right angle isosceles triangle means one of the triangle angle need to be 90 degree, and also two lengths need to be same, then I can say it's a right angle isosceles triangle. So first we'll take one graph sheet, then we will try to plot the points over here. So one vertex they told already, it is the origin, right? So now what two more points we can take? We need right angle triangle, so I can mark over here, anywhere you can mark. So actually I'm marking on x and y axis, so I have taken 3. Okay, so since it is our choice, I have taken 3. Over here, what is the point? It is going to be 3 comma 0. Over here the point is 0 comma 3. So now can we join these lines? So if I join this line, I'm getting a right angle triangle. Yes, our first question is over. And we need to check even the sides, right? Why I have taken here also 3, here also 3? Because see, the distance is going to be 3. So these two sides are equal. So you even mark A, O, B. So AOB is a isosceles triangle, right angle isosceles triangle. So you can mark over here AOB. And what about the second question? An isosceles triangle with one vertex in quadrant 3 and the other in quadrant 4 they have asked. And here also we need to use one vertex as an origin, but the point need to be in quadrant 3 and 4. So what shall I do over here? So I have taken like this. Okay, so what is this point? So it is -4 comma -5, and one more point I'm going to take this side. What point will come? Same distance we require it, because we need isosceles triangle. In quadrant 3 I have taken 1 point. In quadrant 4 again we need to take 1 point. What about in quadrant 4? X need to be positive and y need to be negative, so it's going to be 4 and -5. So this point 4 and -5. So this is the point we have taken on a fourth quadrant. So now join this line and join these two third and fourth quadrant points. So you will be getting again one more triangle. It's an isosceles triangle. Why? Because this distance and this distance, the length are going to be equal, and also one vertex of the triangle lying on the third as well as on the fourth quadrant. So this is a solution for this problem. We'll see the next question. And over here, the following table shows the coordinates of point S and T. Actually, ST is a line segment and M is the midpoint. We need to check whether this is a midpoint or not. So, is M is a midpoint or not? If it is not, we need to say the reason also. Actually, reason is what? If it is a midpoint means actually it is the average of x coordinate average is there. So it is a midpoint. Even the y coordinate average is there. So that's the reason it's a midpoint. If the average is not coming, then I can say it's not a midpoint, right? So that is what actually you can give as a reason. It is not exactly at the midpoint of the line segment. So now as of now, we will check whether it is midpoint or not. M is a midpoint or not. Okay, so even here also you can use the distance formula, but instead of using distance formula, we can check that what whether this M is average of, see here you will have one x and here you will have y, right? So you are going to add both the x value and divide it by 2. What is the meaning of that? It's an average of x value. So can we do that? -3 and +3. So -3 plus 3 is 0. So 0 by 2 is going to be 0. Yeah, this is average only. And over here 0 and 0. So you are going to add 0 plus 0, which is 0. 0 by 2 is again 0 only. So this is a midpoint, right? Yes, this is a midpoint. And can we check the next question? Here the x value is 2 and here the x value is 4. So add both. It is 6 divided by 2. It is going to give you the average of your x coordinate. So 6 by 2 is going to be 3. Yeah, this is correct. And over here the y value is 3 and over here the y value is 5. So add it and find the average. So 8 by 8 and that can be divided by 2. Yes, we can get 4. Yeah, this is also a midpoint. For these two cases we already got, yeah, the given midpoint is midpoint only. It is yes. Okay, so now we'll check for the third case. Here the x value is 0, here also 0. So 0 plus 0 is going to be 0. If you divide it by 2, 0. Yeah, this is right. X coordinate is right. Now y coordinate is 0 and -10. So you are going to take the average of this. So 0 minus 10, you will be getting -5. So 0 minus 10, we will be getting minus 10. If you divide it by 2, we will get minus 5, right? But the question or answer over here, they have given us plus 5. So it cannot be an average of the two y coordinates. So I can't say this is a midpoint. Why? It is not satisfying the midpoint formula, right? And over here again, minus 8 and the 6. If you add it, you will be getting minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2 is going to be minus 1. But here it is given as 0. So this is not an average of x coordinate. We'll check over here 7 minus 3. So we will be getting 4. If 4 divided by 2, we'll get 2. But here it is given as minus 2. So this is not an average of the y coordinate. So this case also, the fourth case also, the m what it is given is not a midpoint because it is not an average of x and y coordinate. So this is how we need to define our answer. And as a formula, you can have a formula like this, midpoint formula, x comma y equal to x1 plus x2 by 2 into y1 plus y2 by 2. What is the meaning? Just we are taking the x coordinate and finding the average, y coordinate and finding the average. That will give us a midpoint, right? So we'll see the next question. Our next question is, use the connection you found to find the coordinates of B given that. So we need to use a connection in order to find the coordinate of B. And what is given over here? M, it is the midpoint actually. Minus 7 comma 1 is the midpoint of A and B. Okay. So first we will make one line. So this is A and this is B, and the midpoint also it is given as M. So we'll mark the coordinates. A is 3 comma minus 4 and B we don't know, let it be x comma y as per the question, and the midpoint is given minus 7 comma 1. So what is our question? We need to find what is the point B. This is what our question, and we know what is the midpoint formula, right? So x comma y, this is a midpoint. This midpoint can be retrieved from what? The formula x1 plus x2, that means the average of x coordinate y1 plus y2 by 2, the average of y coordinates. So over here the midpoint we have the value minus 7 comma 1, so that's not an issue. And what is what about our x1? It's going to be 3 and our x2 is x only by 2. And what about our y1? Minus 4 plus y2 by 2. So now what we can do, we can equate the x coordinate with this midpoint x value and the y coordinate of midpoint with this y value. So if we equate, we will get the y value. So this is just y, not y2. Yes, we can equate it. What I can do now, 3 plus x by 2 equal to minus 7. So what we can do, we can move this 2 to the, from LHS to RHS. If we move, we will be getting 3 plus x equal to minus 14. Then we will get x equal to minus 14 minus 3. It's nothing but minus 17. And we will compare the y coordinate now. So over here, minus 4 plus y by 2 equal to 1. So what will happen? This 2 from a denominator, we can move to the numerator to the RHS. So what it will be? Minus 4 plus y equal to 2. And then minus 4, if you move to the other side, it's going to be plus 4. So 2 plus 4 is going to be 6. So we got the x value as minus 17 and y value as 6. So what is this actually? The coordinates of B. So what is B coordinates? Minus 17 comma 6. So we have found the answer for this question. Hope you understood. Remaining questions will be coming in the next video. Thank you.